Jesus, it's packed.
Yeah, go down the back there, so. Welcome to the Shnug with Richie and Lavin. Indoor tree kind of job, yeah? Yeah. Hello, welcome to another episode of the Shnug, a podcast from the west coast of Ireland. My name is Richard Loftus.
I'm Lavin.
This is just a podcast where we talk with different folks from all types of backgrounds. Get to know them, see what they're doing, where they're from, and their side hustles or main jobs or whatever they're up to. Any crack with yourself?
Yeah, loads of crack. How about yourself?
Fuck all crack, really.
Really, fuck all crack.
I seen you 2 days ago, so not much.
I'm trying to think of like anecdotes. I don't know if I mentioned this before, but I've been watching a lot of Star Trek.
You're a trekker now, are you?
Have I? Well, I'm not a trekker yet, but there's been a whole lot of backlash on like Discovery and Picard, like the new Star Trek shows that are coming out. Have you seen people like hating on it?
No.
So I was like, well, if they're hating on that, like I watched the first season of Discovery a few years ago, and I actually despised it. I didn't think it was great at all. So I was like,
Of Picard.
Of Discovery. The
Which one was that?
That was the first like new show that came out
With Patrick Stewart.
No. It's like a continuation of the timeline or whatever. Picard is the Patrick Stewart one.
Oh, okay.
But so I just had never watched Star Trek when I was a kid. Maybe like an episode here or there. So I was like, fuck it. Like I got all the time in the world right now. I'm single. I might not get this chance again. So I said, fuck it. I'll start doing it. So, but I'm doing it out of order. Like I started with Deep Space Nine, which is after Next Generation, and of course Next Generation is after the original series. So I started with Deep Space Nine, and now I'm on Voyager. I did all 170 something episodes of Deep Space Nine.
Christ above.
Now I'm probably 70 episodes into Voyager. Then I'm going to do Next Generation. Then I'm going to do original
How many
series.
episodes did you watch?
Like 170 of Deep Space Nine. So I'm probably and 70 of Voyager. So what's that? 240 episodes of Star Trek. So, and I'd give it.
You can
probably
definitely tell you're single, alright.
I'd give it like a 6 out of 5. I'd say, maybe a 7. It's okay.
Yeah, it never really grabbed me, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's worth it. I would definitely say it's worth it. It's good. It's good fun, and then you kind of get references that people make out and about.
Yeah, I've one mate that he loves it, alright, but like it was just never my.
Yeah, it's I definitely I fuck it. It's great.
Yeah.
It's a 7. It's a great out of 7. You know,
great out of 7. Yeah, fuck all happened to me now. Really, bit wrecked today now. My missus set off the fire alarm at 5 o'clock this morning, and you just jump out of bed and was like, Jesus Christ! And she was like, I'm sorry, it's the toast.
It was toast.
Yeah,
toast did your fire alarm.
Yeah,
fuck.
I was in a beautiful deep sleep, But yeah, so that's the most exciting thing that happened to me since Monday.
Did you get back to sleep then?
No.
What time did you start work?
9.
I mean, you had a couple hours just to do stuff.
Yeah, but I didn't do anything. I just lay in bed, tossing and turning, trying to get back to sleep.
That's what I do most mornings. I wake up around 9:30 or 10 and just stay in bed for 2 hours. It's great. It's great when you're on the dole.
Yeah. But anyway, today we are joined by Mitch Mac Donald, also known as Mitch Presents. He's a DJ and graphic designer from Galway. How are you, Mitch?
Very well. How are things?
Not too bad now. Any crack with yourself?
Not much now. Just delighted to be here. So thank you for having me.
Thanks very much for joining us.
Yeah.
Thanks very much for the beverages as well.
Hey, you can't come empty-handed, isn't that right?
Would you bring Mitch Strana Pilsner?
Yeah, Aldi's finest.
Oh, it's lovely.
Yeah, right from the top shelf.
Yeah.
I think this is the new thing now. If you're going to come on the show, you have to bring a gift.
Well, it was your birthday,
It was my
and
birthday,
I did
that's
bring
true.
you a bottle of Galway champagne. So.
You're very kind.
Yeah.
So, we'll probably start at the start. You're originally from Moycullen, yeah?
Moycullen, yeah, the parish as we call it out
The
there.
parish.
Yeah.
Why does it have that name, or it's just
So,
like what the lads call it?
I don't know. I just think it was because we were kind of not townies, so we're from Mycullen, and then I don't know, it just snowballed,
Yeah.
and then we called ourselves parish men, and from the parish and all this kind of similar to the Shire or something like that.
Yeah.
Kind of like our
Do it for
own
the parish.
basically,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
up the parish and Han and all the rest of them.
And say, would it been? So you went to secondary school, primary school in Moycullen.
So I went to primary school in Mycullen, Schoolmurra, and then I went to actually St. Enda's up the road here. My brother went there, so I went there. It's like natural selection. It's like, off you go.
Yeah.
It's a nice school, in you go. So
And the folks from there as well.
my dad's actually from Dublin and my mother's from Sligo, so they're blow-ins, as we would call them in the parish.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was I loved it. Like, loved being from there. You were not in town, so you weren't getting in trouble. Football was life. Chasing girls was fun. Buying bottles of Pepsi in the shop and robbing penny sweets. Yourself.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That was kind of life growing up there. It was beautiful, all the nice summers, and then slowly, as you get a little bit older, you're allowed on the bus into town, and off you go, and the madness of it all.
Our cat acting the bollocks again. Just open that door and let him out.
You want me to open the door for the cat?
Yeah.
What's the cat's name?
Usually, the cats can open their own door. They can do everything
Go on,
else
get
for
out,
themselves.
They usually come in and out of every episode at some stage, and
Oh.
it causes some kind of trouble. Like so,
What's that cat's name? Eugene?
Felix,
Felix.
Eugene.
Original.
Eugene.
Original Felix.
Christ. As far as away you could get from Felix. I'd say.
Yeah.
Is it?
A friend of mine, his name is actually Stephen. It's like,
That's a great name for an animal.
I tell you, the
He
realer
looks
the
like a
better.
Stephen, does he?
yeah.
So would it have been in secondary school then you kind of got the bug for music? I know from looking at your This Is Galway playlist, your dad kind of had a big influence on your kind of musical choices.
Yeah, my dad and my brother, and of course my mother. She was a disco chick and loved all that kind of stuff. But just remember, cleaning the house on a Sunday with the Hoover and the stereo in the corner going full pelt, like on a range. I mean, from A to Z, like nothing was off the cards. And then just kind of from there, my brother kind of got. He was actually in radio, but he was bitten by the music bug as well. So there was our house was arts and crafts. It wasn't calculators and rulers. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
And there was always always music on, and there's always check out this, look at that. Here's pencils and coloring books, rather than how would I say, calculators.
Yeah. So they weren't pushing you for an academically really.
They go in and do your bit, but they could see early that we were music, art, that was the kind of the focus, talking shite, being a good person, all the stuff that your mother would want you to grow up to be. And then kind of one Christmas we came down, and then I think it was like the PlayStation 2 or something had just come out, and that's what we were kind of expecting. And we come down, and there's 50 or 40 boxes all on the ground, all these different shapes, different sizes, and we were like, oh my god, what is this? Self and my brother Killian nudging each other, this is fucking deadly. Open up one big box, it's a speaker. Open up the other one, it's a speaker. Open up the little small ones, two little Newmark decks and a mixer and headphones and all this kind of stuff. And I was only young at the time, and I was going, oh great, the bum deal, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because my brother was kind of harping on that he wouldn't have minded it, because he's a drummer and I play guitar, so it was almost in a weird way a natural progression to okay, we want to do this, let's do it, and my dad and my mum saw the foresight, so then he went off to work for iRadio as a radio presenter for years. But I'd always be in his room watching him DJ, I wouldn't get out, At one stage I was actually sleeping under the table that the decks were in, because I was I can't wait till he leaves the room, and then he moved to Athlone, and then I just literally moved straight into his room,
Inherited everything.
Yeah, pretty much. So I was playing the long game, and then that just kind of kicked it all off, trying to get better, bedroom DJ, all this kind of stuff.
DJing as in were you sort of making your own songs out of it?
No, it was just more so like the big stack of CDs from Dad's CD rack, or he actually had this massive pull-out drawer with like all CDs in it. So I just robbed them all, plus whatever Killian would be like burning or taken from LimeWire or back in the day. But
Burning CDs, yeah.
yeah, well, these kids don't know.
Yeah.
And not that, geez, I'm not an outfit either, but that was the range, all the range then. So to get to your point, no, it was never really to make music. It was literally just mix and learn how to.
Okay, great, yeah.
Write the team tune, sing the team tune, that kind of way. Which, looking back on it now, like as having 10 or 11 years of DJing under my belt, I would have loved to have incorporated like me playing guitar or him playing drums and kind of doing it together. But the tech wasn't exactly right there, at the time. It was more so like, you needed this and an amp and a plug in here and a plug in there, whereas you can do everything off your phone now.
Yeah,
of course, yeah.
So those were back in the analog days.
Yeah,
if that's the right term to use.
Well, yeah, come see, come ça, it was what it was.
Like no digital interface, like as far as like a screen or anything. Like you wouldn't be connecting to your computer.
Not really, no. Like there was computers in the house because my father's been a graphic designer for I think was it 38, 40 years this April Fool's Day.
Oh, cool.
Well, he started drawing like markers, doing 20 of the same poster, the exact same, and then obviously moved into. We always had Macs in the house, but we never really had the 2 and 2 to put it together. Because he didn't bring his office or his studio, I suppose, into our home house till later down the line. But we were tech savvy as kids. But in terms of melting the two of them together, we just wanted to bash buttons and jump around the room, and have the crack basically.
So would you have started DJing in secondary school then?
Not like out, you know what I mean.
Just at mates' houses or whatever.
Yeah, stuff like that. And then, as Killian progressed and started DJing in town in like Cuba and places like that, I would be, I'll carry your CDs, and I'll bring in the speakers and he'd show me 20 quid or whatever it was. And through that way, I really got to see the ins and outs of like how you deal with promoters, how you talk to people, the doormen, how you lads, all that kind of, the I suppose, to navigate the nightlife industry. But
Cuba, where was Cuba nightclub?
Cuba nightclub at the top of Air Square. He played
Square.
Everywhere, like K2's places that aren't even around.
I don't even remember where that was in Air Square in Galway.
Do you know where? Let's see.
I don't remember where Cuba is.
Yeah,
no.
Come on.
No, I don't.
He was down the west side.
Was it near like where TK Maxx is now?
Yeah, just down from that.
It was.
Yeah. Where it's McGettigan's now.
Oh, it's
basically.
McGettigan's now.
Yeah.
Was it like bar 902 something?
Yeah, that was the bottom floor. Yeah.
That was Cuba as well.
Yeah.
I'd never been upstairs. I'd only been to the downstairs bar.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't think I've ever been to a nightclub in Galway.
Yeah.
Have you not?
No, I don't think so.
You're not really the nightclubby type.
No.
No, you don't strike me as it. There's none left now anyway.
I don't think they let me in. So.
Proper shoes on you.
I did a table quiz in the old 55 pub just up the way from there about 2 months ago, and they asked the question, how many nightclubs are left in Galway, and I put down the right answer, but then a fucking someone came up and was like, no, that's the wrong answer. Someone that I trusted would know to our table, and then I was like, okay, I'll change it, and he gave me the wrong fucking answer.
Always.
I forget what it was. It was. I think I said there was one left or something. I said no, there's two. Or
there's 1.5. One's on the way out and there's one left.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's obviously great for Galway nightlife to have a nightclub, and especially the history of nightclubs and dance music and all that kind of stuff. Because Galway has so many avenues of music, there's you have the Crane, you've down the west, the Blue Note, you have the Ocean, all these places. And then you've got the front doors and this and that that are all bubblegum stuff. And there is a good big melting pot. But for me, anyway, as a DJ now, I prefer to be playing in the late bars. I've kind of, done my time in the nightclubs. Not to say that I wouldn't again, if the price is right.
Yeah, if the offer came,
Yeah.
So he was probably mixing with CDs and stuff like that.
Yeah, CDs, yeah.
And Was there a big change when people went from like records to CDs to what it is now? But like probably just come in probably with their stuff on a USB stick or something like that.
Well, that's kind of like the preferred method these days is
Yeah.
the USB, because you know you can't carry 9,000 records around, you know.
Yeah.
But I actually kind of did it in reverse. I like learned on CDs, and then as I got, let's say, deeper into the craft, air quotes, I really started like digging for records. You know, it was kind of like I had a box of my dad's old records going through his like white albums, like Thrillers, all like original stuff, and he's like, "This box, guard it with your life." You know,
You
that
don't
kind
bring this into town.
Yeah, literally, yeah.
Was Little Feat's Waiting for Columbus in there?
No, unfortunately not. No.
For some reason, like that's the one album I think that all dads have.
Yeah,
Maybe it's because my father's American. Maybe
Yeah.
not in Ireland, like, you know.
yeah.
But it's anyway. Yeah, go on. Sorry.
Yeah, no, like you know, just a bit of everything. And then I started kind of like teaching myself vinyl and bought turntables and all that kind of stuff. So in a way I kind of did it the other way around. But the actual, you know, I suppose skill of mixing records is like, it was fun because it's like something new to do. Like once you could mix through CDs and on CD players, not that it gets old or boring or whatever, it's nothing like that, but it's like, a new challenge, you know, nice one. And still trying to figure it out, to be honest. But then, like, going back to your question there, like it kind of like going out with him, and then he was like, I can't do this gig, but my brother can.
Ah, nice.
So it kind of turned into that, and it snowballed. And my first gig was actually out my very first gig was out in a pub in my Cullen called the Crossroads. But my first one, let's say in town, was Kelly's downstairs in Kelly's. Yeah. And
Kelly's.
Yeah, Kelly's, the living room, Kelly's, and now it's seven. Yeah,
7. Oh yeah.
7.
Yeah.
Besides Superman.
Yeah, I know it. Yeah, besides Not Hot.
Yeah. Oh my God. Too many times I've been hit.
Have we mentioned that on the podcast yet?
Do you want to show?
I have Not Hot tattooed on me. I tattooed it on myself.
Go on, give us a go.
You can't really see it from here. Hang on.
I had you know,
Right there.
I've been. Oh, okay, yeah.
Terrible, shitty little tattoo.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, sorry.
It struck me down once or twice after a late night gig. The old nut hot, like, you know,
Yeah.
you walk by and the rice looks appealing, and then, you know, you feel appalling afterwards. In my
I
opinion,
used to have nice Mongolian chicken.
it was really nice, but I happened to be on the worst side of things the next day. But it could have been the 10 pints of Guinness as well, so I'm not
Yeah.
too sure.
Oh, it's always the 10 pints. It's never. I mean, it's always.
it's
all
that
the
glass of
cigarettes and
water.
10 pints.
Yeah, it's that pushed you over that
I tell
Panadol
you,
you took
yeah.
before you went to bed.
I'm almost 100% positive we've mentioned Not Hot on the podcast before.
I think we have, yeah. It's a favorite of yours.
Yeah. Well, I just enjoy talking about it. It's such a funny place.
Mm.
Such an interesting place to buy your Chinese food at 4 a.m.
It's yeah. Sorry.
No, go on.
Yeah. No, I was just gonna add.
So 7 was the first. Oh, sorry, it was called Kelly's.
Yeah, Kelly's at the time,
First
yeah.
place. Okay.
first place, and then, you know, you kind of it kind of grew and grew and grew or whatever, and then I couldn't get any gigs for ages, right? And I was like, well, fuck this, like, you know. I was like, and then he kind of like, I worked my way into like playing an electric, and
Oh, yeah.
down in the factory, the old school factory, when it was there, started running kind of my own gigs because I couldn't get any. I was like, well, I'm just gonna do. Okay, well, like, you know, I watch Jules Holland all the time. I was like, I'll try and do my best Jules and Holland's impression.
Yeah.
And the very first, like, let's say, of the Mitch Presents events was upstairs in Kelly's. So I was like given enough rope to be like, if this works, good on you. If not, like, you know, you're gone. And I had a band called Rudy Trex on, and myself and another guy DJ'd, and it went really well. It's like better than I thought, and they're like, okay, well then here's a little bit more, you know.
Yeah.
and do another one, and then I think it actually closed. It like closed down and went into 7. It turned into 7, so I was like floating around the doldrums for a while, being like, oh, you know, I'd love to get it here, I'd love to get it there. And the manager of Kelly's at the time, James Finan, he took over as the GM in Electric, and he was like, oh man, come do it here, like, you know, have the crack, let's go, run your gigs. And then, yeah, it started kind of gathering momentum. And then like parallel to that, Killian was playing down in the Blue Note, Massimo's, like all around that area, which was, we were like, that's the Mecca, like, to get in down there, it's got such history of music and DJs and all that kind of stuff. It's like, wouldn't it be great, And like the time in Kelly's, he went, I can't do this, but like Mitch is available, like, just give him a run.
Yeah.
Like, give him a run, see how he gets on. And that went well, and I haven't looked back since. That's maybe 7 or 8 years ago, and I've just been down there, like, churning it out most weekends, between the places, yeah.
So what age were you when you were doing that?
I was like 19 when I started, properly, 31 now. So just been like constantly giving it, be it 1 night a week, 7 nights a week, 6 nights a week, 3 nights a week. The struggling DJ,
Yeah. Well, you have to put yourself out there, I suppose, don't you?
Oh, that's it. Like, and then the nights you're not DJing, you're out, or you're at a different venue, you're at a different bar, talking to this guy, talking to that guy, coming to this guy's night. Hey, I'd love to get on there, and like, it's like a fucking tornado after a while. You're just out.
Sounds exhausting.
yeah. It was a young man's game.
Yeah. Did you have something to say there?
No.
You looked at me like you did.
No, I didn't.
Like, this guy keeps fucking talking.
So when you're 19 or so, where are you going for your records, for your CDs? Is that still something that you have to go out and get physically, or?
Well, like it was kind of coming into the stage where I was kind of like pillaging Killian's CD files. What hadn't gotten into the records by that stage at all. But Shivago, HMV, like picking up bits here and there. And then there was a lot of burning, like a lot of like ripping them offline and all that kind of stuff, which I'm not proud to say, but hey, look.
Was it LimeWire at the time?
LimeWire, yeah. And then it turned, what did it turn into? And then it was like a YouTube converter then after a while. Yeah. Later on, like,
Yeah. And now it's all torrents these days.
All torrents, yeah. And there's this one called SoulSeek as well. It's kind of like you type the name in, and if it's there, it's there. If it isn't, it isn't. But it's perfect quality. And then, but these days now, I get sent a lot of promos, packs, and stuff from different record labels.
Oh, great! Okay.
To be like, oh, here, like there's this crowd record label in England called Midnight Riot, and it's all kind of like really nice, groovy kind of like disco edits, kind of, because that'd be my cup of tea. And they send over promo packs, and they're like, if you could you rate it or let us know, or there's a little comment section to be like, what did you like about the track, what stars would you give it out of 5, and that kind of thing. So doing it that way, you get sent a lot of music, which is deadly, because it's all WAV file, all perfect.
Sweet. So you said there about disco is kind of your jam. So would that be the main kind of stuff you'd like to play? I suppose you're catering to different crowds, to different places you're playing.
Well, yeah, it's like what I'd like to do myself, or let's say on the Mitch Presents nights, would all be kind of like like groovy kind of house and like disco and edits and a lot of funk and stuff like that. And earlier in the night to be some like slow down soul and that kind of stuff. But by all means, I've done everything from a wedding to a wake, like literally fucking 21st, 10th, like 15th birthdays, 21st, like 60th, 50th, the whole works. And there's a lot of shut up and play the hits nights, but when you kind of, let's say, play down and the likes of the Ocean Dove, like Monroe's, like the Blue Note, Massimo's, all that kind of like West End area, they're kind of like, here you go, like you do what you want to do, like, and the odd time you drop in something that someone knows but not, you're kind of like, like off you go. There's like your artistic expression, I suppose.
Well, they probably know you and trust you.
For sure, yeah. After all the years of playing, they're like, oh no, he's in, boom,
And
we
are
know what's gonna happen.
Isolating like certain elements of the track and putting them on to different things. Are you kind of mixing stuff together, or is it more that you're just curating the playlist?
A bit of both, like, I might loop a section, or like if I have an acapella, I might play it over another house tune or something like that. But it's predominantly selecting and playing, like, it sounds a lot more fancier than it, it's push and play essentially. And I always say what happens in the middle, that's the magic, mixing the two tunes. That's where I get my kicks anyway,
And so the west side or the west end of town was probably, you know, the place that you wanted to end up. But was there a particular? I remember when I moved to Galway first, it was 110th Street down in the Victoria Hotel. They were kind of like the guys to go see if you want.
Where's the Victoria Hotel?
Searle and Keane, yeah.
Huh?
Where's the Victoria Hotel?
The Vic.
You where the Aran Islands bus goes from?
No.
What's
They're
the
on the left.
Yeah. Do you know where the Merrick is? You know the big hotel
No.
on Ayr Square.
If
Oh,
you
in Ayr Square.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's just down the left.
Yeah,
from
if
there.
you come
okay.
straight right down past the scaff and keep going down straight down to where that corner hits to where your office is actually.
Yeah.
Before you hit that bend,
done.
it's just there on the left.
Office.
Office where I work.
I thought you work from home.
Yeah, but that's where my office is. I work from home. Yeah, but
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey,
Cool.
He got his name tag there. That's it.
Yeah.
pretty much.
That's what we were talking about from just before this.
New buildings, those big new glass buildings near the docks.
Mm-hmm.
There's a hotel. Oh, that hotel down there, right
Yeah.
next to the Protestant church.
Yeah.
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 I know it.
Jeez, you know the Protestant.
Yeah, I know it. Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. Got the setting. All right. Got the scene.
Good. So they were kind of like, they were the lads to go see when I was growing up. And then obviously like the disco knots and stuff like that.
Well, yeah, that's who I was going to say. Like during the arts festival that year, Chic played.
Oh wow.
They afterwards they were playing in the Roisin Dove with, you know, the full band and like the percussion and all that kind of thing, and we walked in and I didn't know who they were at all, and Killian was like, this is where we were fucking going, like, and obviously Dad being into music as well, and Mum was out. It was a family outing going to see Chic, because that was like, you know, they were like the backbone of all the parties that we had in the house. You know, it was always like good time, you know, like yowza, yeah, basically.
I think they're my number one most hated band. Is
Oh,
Chic, funnily
there you
enough.
go.
I don't know why. I really, really despise Chic.
Just making enemies all over the place here.
Sorry?
now
Oh
today.
my god, I'm only
What?
I'm
You're
only in
making
the door.
Oh shit! No, it's not an affront on as far as music goes, I don't find it to be like an affront on character. It's more just, you know, I don't know.
You're just a picky motherfucker.
I'm
Yeah.
very extraordinarily picky, but I just Chic for some reason does not get me at all.
Yeah,
But I can understand why it would. That's the other thing, though. I fucking definitely know why they're good, and I like even like Random Access Memories.
Yeah,
I
the
think
Daft
is
Punk
hugely,
album.
the Daft Punk album is hugely influenced by them. And
Nile Rodgers was all over it. Yeah.
all over it, and he's an amazing bass player. But for some
Bernard
reason it just-
Bernard Edwards was the bass player.
Oh, was it? Sorry.
Yeah,
Shit.
yeah.
There
Yeah,
you
Nile
go.
well, you know, they were like two peas in a pod. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For some reason, it just reminds me of like a Celebrations advertisement or something. You know, but I think that's purely set and setting. I think it's just what you grow up with. I don't think it's necessarily what you're what you're naturally gonna like. I think it's very set and settings more an acid thing. It's more just sort of what you grow up with. I think, you know.
That's
what I mean?
it. Like, you know, it could have been anybody. You
It
know
could
what I mean?
have,
It could have been
absolutely,
any band. But that, like, I remember we'd have, you know, family Christmas parties and all the couches would get pushed back and you'd hear like boom, 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 and you know, like shit like that you remember when you're younger, you know, and moving forward, like that's what you listen to.
Yeah.
And it kind of gave me my foundation in like disco and groove, and in the top 10 This Is Galway thing, you saw like, you know, George Benson was in there, and he was always on, you know, Jamiroquai, like bits and bobs like that. It's just like relentless, you know.
What you got? One of your, you know, mainstays is that is it Oliver Dollars?
Oliver Dollar, yeah, doing your thing, yeah. Well, funny enough about that tune, when we were talking about the Disconauts, when after Chic went down, and they were playing like full percussion, like Keith and Pork were just like, I walked in and my head just exploded.
Where
I
was this
like,
in the Roisin?
in the Roisin, yeah. It was like an after party, and I
Who's
walked
Keith
in.
and Pork now? Are they the Disconauts?
Yeah, Keith O'Hanlon, God rest him, he's gone a few years,
Sorry to hear that.
unfortunately. But Porrick as well. Then, you know, Pork still playing around. He's P Disco, like, you know, you see him everywhere. And
that's the beardy gentleman.
yeah, with the disco hat.
With the hat, yeah.
Yeah,
Distinguished gentleman.
exactly, beautiful man, and really sung, and like amazing fucking like DJ. Like the two of them was just unbelievable. But Keith showed me that Oliver Dollar track when I was working in the pub in my Cullen. He was
What's Oliver Dollar now?
so he's a Scottish DJ. It's kind of like almost like one hit wonder ish.
Okay.
In a sense. Well, he had another one called Granulated Soul as well, but like that didn't really do much. But this Oliver Dollar one, for me anyway, really took on. It's got this like moody man kind of like vocal in the middle of it, like he's like, yeah, y'all having a good time.
Yeah.
It's a deadly tune, like, you know.
Yeah.
He's like, I think I'm gonna play these motherfuckers some chic. You know, y'all want to hear. So it all kind of ties in. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
of course.
It's like a block party or something from New York or something.
yeah,
That's what
yeah,
it reminds me of,
exactly, yeah. And yeah, it's just you can hear the crowd like in the back, in the background, and I don't know, like I just kind of always started playing it in my sets, and it just kind of like. I wouldn't say that I took the tune on by any means, but I just love it so much. But he showed me that tune, and it's like a nice tie to Keith, because
that's great.
you know, he I don't know, he kind of took me under his wing in the West End kind of scenario. So
Yeah.
plus the two of them introduced me to what I love to play, or like what I'd listen out to, thinking that's good, bad, or ugly. You know, that kind of way.
Great soundtrack, actually. The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
Yeah, brilliant. Did you ever see that
Ennio
video of the guy?
Morricone.
He's like, wah, wah, and he's like playing it in his hands, and he's like, wah, 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 wah.
Oh, the fellow. Yeah.
He's like an old guy sitting on a chair.
Oh, I think I have seen that.
Yeah,
actually.
it's a good one.
Those two they've mentored a lot of people around the town.
Oh,
like they have,
absolutely.
like,
Yeah. I'm definitely not the first or the last. You know what I mean?
what you call, my partner's cousin is Fionn Devaney. I think.
Oh
you
yeah,
him
I
as
know
well,
Fionn. Yeah, I know him well. Yeah.
And he was saying, he had a big influence when he kind of started off first, kind of like DJing, and then kind of getting into events and stuff. He was was he in Electric with you at around that time?
Fionn, yeah. We actually did a New Year's Eve party together in Massimo's. Would you believe? Yeah, it's funny. He's such a gent, but he started working in Electric, and Keith was kind of doing the sound in there, so they actually got on. They kind of latched in, and he was the next kind of like arm around, and it was unfortunate timing because around that time that's when Keith happened to pass away. So like it was like, you know, I and along with others were so lucky to kind of get like a little bit of, you're doing this, you're doing that, do this, do that into his ear, where Fiona was getting like starting to get the training off him in a sense. But yeah, Soundfell, he's up in Dublin now. He's like flying it.
Yeah.
Did he go to Gore? Do I know him?
No, they're from out towards Tuam.
Yeah.
I wouldn't
I know his sister
Okay.
Myrn as well.
Myrn,
yeah.
She's over in London. Yeah, he's working for Hen's Teeth at the minute and stuff like that.
Cool.
Hen's
yeah.
Teeth.
That's where Killian was chef.
Killian was chefing there.
Yeah.
Never got to get around to eat the food.
I
Never got there.
No, he's left now as well, I think.
I think he's left now. Yeah. Onto not better, but like greater things. I
Yeah,
suppose.
better things.
Do you like Dublin? Like, do you go up to gigs much? Like, I not mean DJ gigs, but music in general or shows.
I went to a Jimmy Buffett show there,
Oh, nice.
which was fucking phenomenal.
Ah, deadly. Where was that on?
What's that theater that looks like you go in there and it looks like an old movie theater.
Oh,
the
the Olympia. Yeah. I just saw Roisin Murphy
The
there.
Olympia.
She was deadly.
Yeah, it was great. It's like normally he plays like fucking stadiums and like, but everyone who goes just is wearing fucking Hawaiian shirts and crazy hats and stuff.
Dad's on holiday, like.
And so I it was my buddy Larry and it was a few of us, and I was like, you have to wear what do you call them?
Hawaiian shirts.
Hawaiian shirts. We have to wear all this crazy shit, like, you know, the luau stuff.
Yeah.
Whatever you call them.
Yeah.
What are they called? Lays.
Yeah,
I
lays,
think
yeah.
that's what they're called.
They call lays,
and like everyone, we all thought we were like dolled up way too much, and we get there and we weren't half as dressed up as everyone else.
Yeah.
But the thing is, we were the only Irish people at the show.
No way.
Everyone else was Americans.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, and I felt like what's his name? You know, in Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas when Hunter S. Thompson is, I'm talking about the film now, when he's it's the same thing in the book, but when he's in the thing surrounded by all the DEA agents.
And he's
Because-
tripping off his head.
Like, tripping off his head, but it was like I was like because like basically Jimmy Buffett's like my favorite.
Okay.
But his fan
Not a
base,
big Jimmy Buffett fan myself.
no one is, and they shouldn't be, because he's fucking horrendous. He's my number one favorite. He's fucking terrible, but I love him.
I'm messing.
No, don't mess, please.
Yeah.
But
I'm fucking serious, man.
But the thing is, most of his fan base are all very right wing, sort of Republican Americans,
Yeah.
and like you could just smell it at this Olympia. It was all these fucking people just like loving the fact that Trump was in power and shit, and I was just like, you fucking pricks. I don't know, like it's
They're all going
this
playing
weird,
golf then the next day down in
yeah,
Kilbeck.
yeah. I guess they're all following him to France or something. But it's very funny being there because I have a Jimmy Buffett tattoo.
Oh wow.
So we were getting
Do ya?
low. Yeah, this is my
Who's
first tattoo
doing
I ever
these
got.
for you?
Really,
And,
yeah?
like, you're picking them all out.
Yeah. I got. You never seen the Jimmy Buffett tattoo?
Oh yeah.
Oh
yeah,
nice.
sorry,
Yeah.
But
How could I forget?
I got it as a joke.
Etched into your memory.
Yeah.
Like.
But yeah, no, it's just a funny thing. But yeah, no, Dublin. I do like Dublin.
Yeah.
Dublin's nice.
It's good. Like.
I don't think I'd like to live there.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same. Like myself and my girlfriend talk about it all the time. It's like we go up and see shows and we're like, yeah, it's kind of nice to like dip your foot in, but
Yeah.
like let's get the last fucking go bus home. Like, you
Yeah,
know?
Yeah.
It's grand to visit.
Yeah.
I wish I could visit probably more, but
We're
Yeah.
country boys.
yeah,
That's actually it. We're from the parish,
country
like.
boy. Yeah, that's it. Like, you know,
Yeah.
we went up to see
When you go up,
Arcade
it's a big
Fire
day for the
there.
parish.
Yeah, you're Gort man, are you?
No, he.
No, this guy's from Mayo over
Yeah, I'm
here.
from Mayo.
Richie's
That's
Mayo.
right. That's
Yeah.
right. You told me that.
Richie's from Mayo. I'm Ballindarian, so kind
Ballindarian.
of right near Kinvara.
Yeah, Pork Disco Knot country. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, he's from out that neck of the woods, I think.
Who is? Pork
Yeah.
from Kinvara?
No, I think further on Ballindarian, I think.
From Ballindarian. Huh.
Yeah. Anyway,
Interesting.
so you're not a Gort man. You're
No,
out.
we went. I went to Gort secondary school,
Ah, yes, that's where the Gort comes in.
and so did Chloe.
Yeah, my partner.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay, right, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the connection.
That's the connection to Gort there. What were we seeing? You saw Arcade Fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jesus, the day after all those allegations came out.
Oh,
was
So it was
allegations?
yeah, he was being a dirty boy.
Yeah, I heard.
Who is
snippets of
Arcade
it.
Fire? One person or loads of people?
It's a band.
10
yeah.
of them, yeah.
Yeah.
10, probably more. Like, he's the lead singer and the songwriter. And then
Okay.
allegations came out the day before. Then that was the first night of the tour. Yeah. They were amazing. It was the first time I'd ever seen them.
Yeah.
But then everybody came out and they were like, yeah.
Did it kind of lose its
It
like?
did a
it was a
bit,
bit
yeah.
limp, was it?
Yeah, it did a bit. Like, the live show was amazing. It's like, it was in the, what's it called? It's the Tree Arena now.
Yeah, the three. Yeah.
And the whole thing was just, it's like a semicircle that turned into an eye, that turned into a star
Is it the light
space,
show?
that turned into
Okay.
like, you know, the universe or whatever as they're
Yeah.
playing. And then they had like a stage that came out. There was like a glass, or probably a plexiglass piano that they were all standing out in the middle of the crowd.
Deadly.
And it was amazing, but like, you know,
It kind of lost its.
yeah, because you think, the good indie heads, they're fucking
Absolutely,
decent
yeah.
people, but like,
Even
Yeah.
indie heads could be whatever he was doing. I don't know the story.
Yeah.
but like,
You don't have to go into it.
It's
people,
not all old comedians and.
yeah, it's a Louis C.K. job. It's
Yeah,
whoever
yeah.
else, like,
Yeah.
Poor old Louis, huh?
Yeah.
I'm only messing.
But it's speaking of that, like stage kind of show and stuff. We actually went to see the Gorillas in August.
Oh, my brother was at that.
No
actually,
way.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Well, I had been like massive Gorillas fan from the start or whatever. None of this bandwagon job because I love the art side of it as well, you know. And my god, the fucking
Hewitt, is that the artist?
yeah, Jason Hewitt, I think it is.
He did Tank Girl. I really like those. I have that comic book at home. I'm not a comic guy, but for some reason we've been talking a lot about comics.
No, we're talking
But
about the
anyways,
last time.
sorry, go on.
No, you're fine. You're
yeah.
fine. Like I grew up like drawing Batman and Spider-Man
yeah.
the whole time. They were my go-tos. But just the fucking all the imagery and just like it came out and they had this massive like geogwitch, in green writing, and then
nice.
it said, and the way they ran it was like they played the music videos in behind. They weren't like Damon Albarn. They're all on stage and stuff, but like. Just like one video moved into the next, and like when they were taking a break to kind of like have a drink or
Yeah.
whatever, like they played these little snippets in between, like, and it was unbelievable.
Of what, like the band?
Yeah,
I'm
just
doing air
like
quotes there. Band. Or what? Good talking or whatever.
yeah, or just like the cartoon characters, or the the characters themselves, like like trodden off to the next place, or you know,
Yeah.
like addressing the stage and stuff. Like it was fucking. So your brother was at it. I'd say you had a good time.
Yeah, you did really
Yeah.
amazing time. Because I think when they came out first, when they started doing live shows initially, they played it behind like a screen.
Yeah.
Initially, yeah.
Yeah.
But I think there's too much contained in that band because there's so many influences and
That's it. And it's like, a massive collective. So people just like collab all the time, and like even like they played Dirty Harry, and like next thing, like Booty Brown, like he's got a rap bit in the last bit of the song, and I mean he like fired out on stage and burst right into the rap, and everyone's like, oh my god. It was like, because you're not expecting it, because he's like an American rapper, like does he go on tour with them, does he not? Like I was kind of checking it out on social media, like to see would there be any little cameos, and like he wasn't really in any of them.
Was Sean Ryder there?
Sean Ryder wasn't there, no. But Dare was fucking wicked.
You get someone to hold Sean Ryder
Yeah,
up.
literally.
Sean Ryder, the guy from Happy Mondays.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Twisted Man Melon, man.
Who's the main guy in Gorillaz? Damon Albarn.
Damon Albarn, yeah, from Blur. Yeah.
Has he been in the Gorillaz twice the time he's been in the Blur now?
I'd say so. It's coming close.
That's
No?
mad to think, isn't it?
Oh,
in my
like-
head, he's still like the guy from Blur.
Well, yeah, that's kind of who he is to like. let's
Oasis
say,
are Blur.
Ah,
Yeah.
Oasis are Blur.
Oasis on Blur.
What?
Oasis. Blur.
I'm going home. But I heard this great question was, who has gone from one band to another band and they've both been as successful,
Yeah.
and like he was obviously one of them. I saw this question online.
Dave Grohl.
Dave
Dave Grohl was
yeah.
the other.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're the only two that I could think of.
Oh, I could probably think of someone.
Yeah, it's an old brain scratcher, but
Jesus, I can't think of anybody.
Well, yeah.
to beat for the two bands to be like that big.
David Crosby was in the Byrds, I think, and then he went from the Byrds to Crosby, Stills, and Nash.
And Young.
And Neil Young was also involved with that too. So,
Yeah,
but that was
I
a
think he
solo
was in
career
the-
afterwards, though, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Beyonce
Yeah, true.
from Destiny's Child, Beyonce, but that's a solo career.
Yeah.
It's different.
I
Wow,
think.
what are you laughing
I
at?
think it's funny that you brought up Beyonce.
Yeah, I was so surprised.
I fucking know music.
I'm sure you do. But
Yeah,
I'm just surprised it's all right.
Beyonce's there. There's loads of those. Yeah.
Mm,
Trying to think of more. Bob Marley. He started with the Wailers.
it's true.
Mm.
They kept on going after you.
And
you
like
left, is it?
that's people breaking off, going
That
solo.
is,
Basically,
that's,
you know
I
what
think
mean?
that every example I gave there was exactly that.
Yeah.
Was people breaking off and going solo or starting supergroups together,
Yeah,
as opposed to in one band and then another band.
yeah, like that, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you were DJing places around Galway in different bars and clubs and stuff like that. And when did you make the jump to kind of the festival circuit? Because I know you've done to DJed at a few.
Yeah, like Truth Keith Disconnot, he was like, "Here, fucking come on, let's go to C sessions." I was like, "Sound, yeah, like no bother." I slept out, like literally slept on the beach, like because I didn't have money for fucking a hotel room. I was promised the stars and the sun, and went up and just played one set. And then the next year I played another set, and then next year, and like I just did it this year, and I closed a stage, and like
Wow.
all that kind of stuff. I'd done that previous years before, but this year gone by was like proper special because like I actually had like, not to blow my own horn, like there was a fucking big crowd there, which was deadly. But yeah, and then I've done Electric Picnic, Body and Soul, did Body and Soul the first year of the festivals as well. And then did Life Festival, and I just did Éilú Le Gras a couple of months back, which was fucking deadly. Like new second year doing it, the lads putting it together, and it was unbelievable.
That's based in Galway, isn't it?
Yeah, it was just outside of Galway, like Ballingurreen, so like where the Galway glamping area is. And I mean to say, like I missed the first one because I was on a family boating trip down the Shannon, for my birthday, so
lovely.
I got to miss it, which I was kind of not disgusted, that's not the right word. It was
disappointed.
It was bad timing.
Yeah.
And but this year was fucking deadly. Like All About Kombucha kind of sponsored one of the bars, had a big massive stretch bar. Then they had a massive tent, and they had like fire breathers, jugglers. They had like the the Zen Den, it was called. It was for like musicians, poetry, comedy,
Oh, cool.
like interpretive dance. People were making like costumes and stuff. It was really cool, kind of like, you know, vibey, like airy fairy kind of nice festival. But getting back to how it all came around, it was just like one snowballed after another. Got asked to do this, did Electric Picnic, like a Red Bull stage, like got asked to do that. Then, like, you know, and like the gigs, just someone says, do you fancy this? Do you fancy that?
Yeah.
Do you fancy this? And that's just kind of the way it goes. And then got to play in Madrid, got to play over in America, like got to...
Where in the States were you?
I was in Austin, actually, for 3 months.
In
Austin, Texas.
Yeah. That's great.
Yeah, so my parents did 5 years out there, and that's where my older brother was born.
All right.
And so my uncle and my auntie lived out there, and I was working for him. I was washing vans, washing you know, trucks and stuff, and these big stretch van sprinter kind of. They did wine tours, so they had these big buses that would bring like loads of people around to different vineyards. And then I went over for my cousin's wedding, and the DJ from the wedding, I was up there going, oh, I would fucking DJ back home, blah blah blah, you know, gnawing the ear off him. So like I kind of knew what it felt like. And he just goes, oh, get onto this guy, get onto that guy, and it all kind of organically happened, which was deadly.
Yeah.
It's a place called Mavericks Dance Hall. It was this huge fucking "Don't Break My Heart."
Oh,
You know,
really? Yeah.
It was real, and me coming in here going, "I want your love," you know, the chic tunes or whatever. You know, it's funny, but yeah, it was class. And then Madrid, I brought a guy over named Yavi Ferris. I brought him over to do Mitch Presents, because when I was running them in Electric, they gave me, you know, X amount of money to go and book a DJ and get the flights, and
Oh, sweet.
which was deadly, you know, because I had no fucking pot to piss in, so it kind of suited me. And I just said I'd chance my arm. I go, well, if I bring you over, you know, you have to bring me to Madrid, you know. And he's like, yeah, no problem, you know, like that, like
Nice.
So I went over and played over there. So it's just cool to play in different places, like playing in Dublin and down in Cork and Sligo and all those kind of stuff. So it's nice to not do it in your bedroom or in Galway, you know.
Yeah.
As much as I love it, it's nice to get out and do it other places.
You can say that about a lot of things.
Yeah, true.
Ayo. Well, so I know the graphic design.
Yeah.
It must be tough to juggle both, because, you know, if you're DJing a lot and then your daytime job and stuff like that, to bring that stuff in.
Yeah, it kind of like, obviously my dad had a studio, and it's like, you know, very, very sought after designer. So it was either like, if you're not good enough, you're not gonna fucking work for me. Like, you know, there was no nepotism going on. I came in as a junior designer. Like, I did like literally resizing photographs for like a few years to kind of like, you know, get my bearings around the different softwares and stuff. And then he, like that, gave me enough rope, you know, to try and do this, do that, do this, do that. And then I kind of moved into a bit of web design as well. So doing bits and bobs for him, and then do my own artwork. Because that's half the battle when you're running events, is like, I know the price of a designer isn't cheap. So it definitely saved on the let's say the total of, you know, running the events. And then it just kind of like loved it, you know what I mean? And then obviously COVID came around, and it was like, you know, all the gigs were gone, and then, you know, couldn't really live on like doing let's say working a handful of days a week for him. So I took a job in a factory, which was kind of a great thing, but balancing the two of them, there was a lot of mornings I would text going, I mightn't be out till 11 o'clock, you know. And that kind of floated for 1 or 2 weeks, but after that it was like, you know, shit or get off the pot, as he always says. So like, you're either in or you're out, you know. And I was definitely in for a while, and I loved it, like, and doing loads of stuff, like, just like it helped me and what I was doing for DJing. So like, you know, it how would I say it,
went hand in hand.
Yes, basically, yeah. But I love it, like, you know, his dream would for me to take over the empire, you know. But as much as I would love that, you know, I kind of like just tipping away and kind of doing my own thing. But being able to do it, you know, it's like another skill, another string to your bow, which is amazing. And I'll never be like short of a poster. You know?
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
And then you were saying, then your other side thing is kind of the hot sauces that you were doing down the marketing of.
Yeah, this is the funny thing now, and my girlfriend will kill me, but everybody thinks it's mine, but it's not at all. It's
Hot
all
sauces, huh?
Yeah. My girlfriend Mae Fitzgerald, she makes small batch hot sauces. She makes them all in Knocknacarra here. Like,
what's the name of the hot sauce?
Sausta Foods.
Sausta.
So it's Irish hot sauce. Sausta, satisfied for happy. So little play on words, but she's got 3 flavors. There's the jalapeno and pineapple, which is kind of the mild one, but it's like really fucking good on like eggs and shit in the morning. It's like really nice in a toasted cheese sandwich and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
not a massive kick out of it, but it's
Yeah.
kind of like the catering to the Irish market, you know, or just, you know,
yes.
giving out samples in the market. Like, some people are like, is that even hot sauce? And then other people are like, that's too hot for me, you know.
That'll blow the head of you.
Yeah, and then there's peach and habanero, which like comes off. Yeah, peach and habanero. So it's all natural. So you get the sugars from the fruit. So there's no additive sugars or anything kind of like that. And it's like vegan, and not that that's a major kind of selling point, but it is. You know, it's open for everyone. Yeah, and so the peach and habanero, the heat comes on straight away. You know, but it's a beautiful balance between the two tastes, or the two different flavors of the pepper and the fruit. And then the last one is Scotch bonnet, like smoking Scotch bonnet. Like, there's a proper fucking kick off it. Like, you know,
it's the Jamaican pepper,
yeah,
isn't it?
Yeah.
A lot of that in jerk cooking.
Oh, right. That's for big boys that know what they're doing.
It's actually it's not that crazy. It's not the crazy like big boy shit would be like fucking Carolina Reaper, or like Scorpion, Ghost Pepper, all that kind of, like, that's fucking. I mean, I'm sure there's crazier stuff now.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. Scotch bonnet, I guess, would be on the crazier end of the the hot pepper scale, as far as what you can like buy in the market.
Yeah.
Buy it like at the supermarket. You might be able to get Scotch bonnets at Dunn stores, maybe.
Okay.
But it's not like fucking gonna kill you. You know what I mean? Like some things.
When I was out in Austin, you know, they're like, oh, do you want some salsa? It's like literally like fucking ghost chili pepper, like just with fucking chips when you're having a beer. And like a curry was as far as I was going for a long time. And it'd blow the fucking mouth you. It's like, it's just heat, you know, there's no like flavor to it either.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
but depends
I love
on
hot sauce.
Yeah.
And I love the fucking just like so much that you're just like, it's
getting
coming
the
out your
sweats
nose. Like my buddy Cody, he got the bomb, you know, that hot sauce.
Beyond
it's
insanity.
Like it's this whatever it is, it's just
from the hot ones.
It's from or it's on that hot
Hot
ones
ones, yeah.
thing. So I had a couple drinks in me. He's like, "Do you want to try the bob?" I was like, "Sure, I'll fucking."
Yeah.
I was like, "I'll try it anyway." In my head, it was like in the middle of it, but that's like towards the end. So So if no one listening has seen hot ones, I'm sure you have. They go through hot sauces from the mildest to the strongest, and the bomb is like probably the second to last or the third to last of the however many 10 hot sauces they try. And in my head, it was like the third one in. I was like, oh yeah, it's probably can't be that crazy. So we take big massive dollops of it, and I'm well used to eating heat, and we fucking get it down us, and we couldn't talk to each other for about half an hour. I could feel it in my ears.
That's the one.
We're just standing around going,
so you felt it
elsewhere
afterwards.
Yeah,
like, we shouldn't have had so much.
It goes in hot, like it definitely comes out hot.
But I do love hot sauce, so it's interesting to hear that your girlfriend makes hot sauce.
I was only saying to that I should have brought up fucking some bottles, like, you know.
I'm sure we'll see in the market. At some stage.
And we're online. She's in 15 different shops as well, all around the city. So, you know, if you do see it.
And does she have an Instagram or anything like that?
Yeah, Instagram, Facebook, or website as well. Saucefoods.ie.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. And yeah, it's flying off the shelves. Like, you want to see the house down there? It's like there's thousands of these little 100 ml glass bottles, like, trying to like weave our way in through the house. But now they're all gone. So
class.
it's moving. Yeah.
No, fair play to her.
Mm.
So just to cycle around then to Galway again. I know we were speaking earlier about the landscape in Galway has changed a lot, with nightclubs pretty much being extinct at this stage. How do you see it change, and how do you see it kind of developing going forward?
Well, as I was kind of saying to you, like, me personally preferring to play in the late bars, or like, spots like the Ars na Gael, or venues like the Roisin or Monroe's, or places that are built for like live music, bands like DJs, all that kind of stuff. In my head, I kind of think that that's the direction it might go in, until someone buys or turns an old spot into a nightclub, and then
it's only a matter of time before more nightclubs start popping up, I think.
Yeah, I think so. And like, the current climate, like the likes of the Ars na Gael are doing pop-ups. Like, they've got a punk show, they've got like a drag fashion show one day, then they've got like like an indie band, then they've got like a night, like an event that I've played on called the Basement Project. They do like yard parties, so it starts at 2, ends at 2, DJs inside, outside, and they've got loads of stuff going on, and like that, the Roisin Dove is like, obviously we all know the Roisin as this mecca for breaking bands coming through and tied into the arts festival and all this kind of stuff, but there's DJs there too, I had a residency up there upstairs for 3 years, and then the amount of people that played downstairs, like, during that 3 years, the likes of the Blue Note, the Beer House, do the scratch games, every nook and cranny are kind of doing their own thing. And I think maybe for the next foreseeable, that might be the future of Galway's nightlife. Like he said, like, if someone comes in and buys a nightclub and turns it back into a nightclub, or buys another venue and it turns into a nightclub, but it's hard to say, only time will tell. For us DJs, like, we have places to play, we're not like crying out for places to play, but I just think in terms of, this whole give me the night movement to try and make the closing hours go later and all that kind of stuff, that benefits Dublin and Cork and places like that actually have now nightclubs more so than Galway do. Yeah. But still, wouldn't you not want to stay in somewhere till past 2:30 and have a pint if you're going out late? Like you said,
what time do the late bars close here?
It's like 2:30.
Roisin and
yeah.
And Blue Note and Massimo's and all them.
Blue Note and Massimo's, they're half one now, but during the arts festival and stuff like that, they go till the 2.
Yeah.
If they can get the license. But now with the budget there, they just said that they might they're making the license cheaper.
Okay.
To stay open later, so that could be a revelation for the nightlife in Galway. So it's just interesting to see how it works out. My 2 cents is, like, we'll play wherever we're told, wherever we can play. Yeah. But it would be great to see a nightclub back open to bring, attract massive acts. Or like what was happening in Electric before it closed was a lot of DJs were playing in Dublin or Cork or Belfast, and they were like piggybacking, like getting another night out of the weekend and playing in Galway. Right. So they might come over a day premature or stay a day later, and the clubs would like split the costs and all that kind of stuff, which worked out deadly. There was so many massive acts that came to Galway, which was a good thing. And it's like, Galway's known for music, so it is it's bittersweet, it's sad that there's no real nightclubs for like good fucking rockin' DJs, but at the same time, like, it's still vibrant. It's still a city that's full of music. As I said earlier, like the Crane, like, for trad, like Key Street for bubblegum, and the likes of the West End for proper fucking tunes, like.
It's strange. Galway's bizarre in one way that there isn't any one major venue. Like, you've got a big band, they'll play in Leisureland or the Black Box, but that's not, it's not uniquely for music or whatever. You
strange.
know, it's kind of you're using it for different things, like, you know.
Yeah, like
Galway likes the idea of being a small. I mean, it's. I find it strange to call it a city, but it likes the idea of being a large town. But even like some large towns like Castlebar, there'd be more places to play.
There's a bigger venue in Castlebar than there
There's
is
a
in
bigger
Galway.
venue in fucking Castlebar.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In Mayo.
Yeah,
You know?
God.
The centre of everywhere.
Oh yeah, here
Yeah,
he
you
comes.
know.
Here he comes.
Yeah.
You had to get.
Well,
You had
you
to
brought it
squeeze
up. I
in.
didn't say anything, but like, come on.
Yeah, I think in November I'm gonna see Andy Irvine and Paul Brady play in Castlebar.
But there you go. Like,
So.
The Island. That's a great tune.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Paul Brady's great.
you met Paul Brady, didn't you?
At the Jimmy Buffett concert,
No way.
I shook his hand.
I need the Hawaiian shirt on.
Yeah. Well, he was playing with Jimmy Buffett.
Oh, he
And,
was. Wow. Okay.
yeah,
Right.
so
Yeah.
he played two songs with him, and then afterwards, I saw him out the back, and I was very, very drunk, and I just went up. I was like, "Paul, I love you," and he went, "Thanks very much." I shook his hand, and it was grand, like, you know.
Yeah. They say never meet your heroes, but on that occasion, like, definitely.
Oh, definitely, especially Paul Brady, like, you know, it was brilliant. But
Special day for you.
see, I know like Castlebar has a massive venue.
Mm-hmm.
It is strange that Galway doesn't, but I mean, even with art galleries, it seems like Galway. I think that it's starting to get better.
Yeah.
But like you would expect an art gallery on Shop Street, you know, the main thoroughfare in Galway, to be prominent, and there really isn't.
Yeah, like what was it, maybe a month ago, the Outset Gallery, it's just beside Charlie Burns, it just opened.
Yeah, I've heard about that one.
Yeah, I did one of the last thing was called Deconstructions, I think was the last show that was on in there.
Okay.
I'd be good friends with Luke Reedy, he'd be actually friends with my girlfriend.
Who is Luke Reedy?
He's an artist, like he's from Clare originally, but he does these kind of like mad kind of like geometrical shapes and stuff.
Okay.
And we actually have a massive one hanging in our sitting room. It's really nice. We have these mad kind of like orange curtains, and he actually, I sent him a picture of the curtains, and he got the orange from the curtains and put it into the piece. So he's a really nice fella. And Tom, and then another guy, I always forget his name. He runs the frame shop in Lisbon Industrial Estate.
Those are the Galway frame shop fellas, are they?
Yeah.
We follow each other on Instagram, but I've never met them.
Yeah, they're a sound bunch of lads. Through that, only getting that piece from Luke framed, and then we got another. Is all the Galway Arts Festival posters in like one? Do you know?
Oh, cool.
It was really deadly. We just happened to see it, But they had a show on, and they're doing more shows again.
Yeah.
Their plan is once a month. But apart from that, and you're right, there's no other galleries really around.
Yeah, it's crazy.
There's the 126 gallery, but I think that's very DIY kind of a style. Ronan.
Ronan Connor, he's involved with that.
Yeah. But so it's mad for for the arts festival and everything. Like it's crying out for.
Yeah, there's opportunities galore. I
Space.
think really, I suppose it just takes certain people just to push it forward. I'm sure there's plenty of people trying.
Oh, 100%. Yeah,
And it'll probably come to fruition in a few years. And we'll see.
Yeah.
A lot more going on. Mitch, thanks a million for coming in. It's been a great chat. We'll definitely have to get you back in for a special hot sauce episode, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, lads. It's been a pleasure, and we'll catch
Thanks
you
for the beer and the Buckfast.
Hey,
Yeah.
no problem. Galway Prosecco. And thanks for having me. I really enjoyed it. I've listened to enough of the podcasts, and I'd always love to do one. So
Oh, well, there you go. You did one.
two sound pricks anyway.
Yeah, we're sound pricks.
Yeah.
That's the hashtag now.
Yeah, sound pricks. Hashtag sound pricks.
Hashtag sound pricks.
Sound. Well, thanks everybody for listening. We'll catch you again. We'll see you in a few weeks.
See you then.